Here we are in section 6-1, exercises 1 through 9. It says to simplify. These are fractions or rational expressions. This is a divide sign, this bar right here, which means it will undo any timesing that happens. So do we see any timesing that's happened that we can slash? Yep, the z's are gone, the x's are gone. And then out of the 18 and the 24, it looks like we can take a 6 out of the top and the bottom. So we get 3y over 4r. Is there any other factors that are common on the top and the bottom? Nope, that looks good. Number 2, let me see, the 2 over the 6 can be rewritten as 1 over 3. So we can write the 1 up there. Let's see if we have any, let me see, does the x cancel with anything? Nope. So we could write 1x if you wanted to, but we have an x. Now if you look at the y cubed over the y, that's just rules of exponents. Subtract the exponents and we get a y squared on top. And then the z, there's nothing to cancel there. So there's nothing common as a factor on top and bottom. So that's our answer right there. All right, number 3. The 56 over the -7, we can get that. That's an 8 over a -1, so we'll just put the negative out there, leave the 8 up there, and then if there's nothing else timesing, we'll leave a 1 down here. So the a squared over the a, that combines together with subtraction of exponents, leaves an a to the first. B over b cubed, that's rules of exponents. 3 minus 1 is 2, and the bottom one is where we end up with a b squared and a c. So negative 8a over b squared c. Number 4. Ooh, you'd love to take out those x squareds, wouldn't you? But you can't because this is a division bar. It doesn't undo subtraction or addition. It only undoes multiplication. So we have to make sure everything is factored on the top or the bottom. So let's factor the top. This one is a trinomial leading coefficient 1. So it's an x and an x. And let me see, timesing to -10, it could be a 1 and a 10 or a 2 and a 5. So we got to get a -5 and a +2. So x plus 2, x minus 5 there. And what's on the bottom? On the bottom we have, let's factor that guy. This is a difference of squares, x plus 2, x minus 2. And now we have some things that can cancel. The x plus 2's cancel, and we're left with x minus 5 over x minus 2. Oh, that was a good one. Number 5. Similar thing, we have to factor everything first, and then we can cancel. So on the top, we have a -10 again, but this time it looks like it's going to be x plus 5, x minus 2. Right? Yeah, that'll add to a +3 and times to -10. And on the bottom, we have x plus 2, x minus 2. And yeah, the x minus 2's now can cancel because multiplication and division undo each other, and we're left with x plus 5 over x plus 2. All right, number 6. Okay, so the top, let's write it over here. I have an x and an x, and what times is to a -15? -15, it could be a 1 and a 15 or a 3 and a 5, and adds to a -2. It looks like a -5 and a +3. So +3 and a -5 over, and on the bottom, ooh, this has a greatest common factor. We can pull out a 2x, and we're left with x minus 5. Oh yeah, x minus 5 now, slash. So we get x plus 3 over 2x. Excellent. All right, number 7. On the top, we can pull out a 5x, it looks like. So 5x, and we're left with x minus 6. And on the bottom, it looks like we can pull out a 2, and we're left with 36 minus x squared. Ooh, that's not exactly how we always do stuff. So let's go back and see if we can pull out a -2, see if that'll help us at all, and switch those around. If we pull out a -2, we're left with a -36 plus an x squared, which we can actually write as an x squared minus a 36. Now this is something we know how to do. That's a difference of 2 squares. So this actually reduces down to x plus 6, x minus 6. Yeah, that factors into that. So let's write the whole thing out. We got a 5x x minus 6 over negative 2 times x plus 6 times x minus 6. Now let's slash all of the common factors. We have the x minus 6 right there, and that's all we get. So the answer is going to be a 5x over negative 2x plus 6. Now this negative sign could come out front if you wanted it to. That's fine. And something that we might want to know here, I'm going to draw this in a different color. If we would have left this as a 36 minus x squared, it would have factored as 6 plus x, 6 minus x. And we should note that 6 minus x and x minus 6 are not the same thing, but they are opposite of each other. They divide to a negative 1. And that's where this negative would have come out. If you had done it that way, that's perfectly fine. All right, number 8. Ooh, 3x squared minus 11x plus 10. 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. Oh, shoot. Both of these are trinomials. Leading coefficient is not 1. We have to do the AC method. So here we have a 30. And what adds up to negative 11? 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. So it looks like a 5 and a 6, negative on both of those. So we got 3x squared minus 5x minus 6x plus 10. Chainsaw. Pull out an x and we get 3x minus 5. Here we pull out a minus 2 and we get 3x minus 5. So the top guy, this one right here, turns into 3x minus 5 and x minus 2. All right, now the next one. 3 times negative 5 is a negative 15. And you have 1 and 15, or a 3 and a 5. And it looks like the negative 5 and a positive 3, that'll do it. So we have 3x squared minus plus 3x minus 5x minus 5. Pull a 3x out of the front. Oh, chainsaw. And we're left with x plus 1. Pull a negative 5 out, and we're left with an x plus 1. And so we're at 3x minus 5, x plus 1. Okay, factored the top, long. Factored the bottom, long. But are there common factors now that can cancel? The 3x minus 5 and the 3x minus 5. We get x minus 2 over x plus 1. Yes, excellent. Number 9. Ooh, this one, they look kind of big. Let's see what we can get out of it. So the top, let's do the top over here right next to it. So we get a 2x as a common factor, and we're left with x squared minus 81, which factors into x plus 9, x minus 9. All right, so let's write that out. 2x, x plus 9, x minus 9. Okay, so that's on the top, and then let's change color for the bottom. We'll do this guy right over here. We can take an x out, and we're left with 4x squared plus x minus 18. Oh, AC method. 4 times negative 18 is a negative 72. So we got to have a 1 and a 72, a 2 and a 36, a 3 and a 24, a 4 and an 18, a 5, a 6 and a 12, a 7, an 8, and a 9. 8 and 9. Looks like it's a negative 8 and a positive 9. Okay, so we have x times 4x squared minus 8x plus 9x minus 18. Chainsaw that guy. Pull a 4x out. We're left with x minus 2. Pull a 9 out on that one, and we're left with an x minus 2. So we're left with 4x plus 9. X minus 2, and that little x floats down there, so let's put that out here. We have an x times 4x plus 9, and we're left with an x minus a 2. And what do we get that cancels? We are left with only the x canceled. Well, that wasn't a lot of help. So on the top we get 2 times x plus 9 times x minus 9 over 4x plus 9. Oh, we almost had something that would cancel there, and an x minus a 2. Okay, good.